Home prices in Calgary rose in May, even as the Teranet National Bank Home Price Index showed a year-over-year drop across metro areas nationwide. Sales for the month also rose to a record high, according to the Calgary Real Estate Board. So what is driving Calgary's housing market, perhaps more so than others? Let's bring in Anne-Marie Lurie, chief economist at the Calgary Real Estate Board. Anne-Marie, thanks so much for making time for us today.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us about what's going on in Calgary. I mean, we've talked quite a bit about the pickup in the real estate market nationwide in these first few months of the year. I mean, we're almost halfway through the year at this point. But what are you seeing in Calgary in particular?
Calgary's sales have been exceptionally strong throughout this year, and a lot of that has been driven by the fact that we had record levels of migration last year. So a large flow of both international and interprovincial migrants have really created a very strong housing market throughout the end of last year right into the start of this year, and we've just struggled with having enough supply given how many people have come, and that's caused some price gains that we've been seeing.
A guest that we spoke to last week said that Calgary didn't get the memo on mortgage rates because they're high, right? And yet all these sales are still happening. How do you think people are, sort of making sense of it financially?
Well, I think part of it also depends on where people are coming from. Because we've had a lot of migration really come from, places like Ontario and BC, which tend to be higher priced markets, they're going to be a lot less sensitive to those higher interest rate environment than, let's say, somebody who was from a local market. So that's the one aspect, is just that relative affordability in Calgary really has, offset some of that impact of those higher rates, especially for some of those interprovincial migrants coming in. And then further to that, again, when we think about just what's happened in Calgary, I mean, we didn't have that same price growth kind of prior to the pandemic. Our market has really behaved very differently leading into the pandemic, and we're also different coming out of the pandemic. I mean, our economy is much better than we are now than we were prior to the pandemic. So things are very different here.
So do you think that there is, still some possibility that the sort of sales momentum or the price momentum that you're seeing could continue because of those factors?
Yes, and until we see supply levels change, we'll continue to see that upward pressure on prices. We are struggling with no rental supply, very limited supply on the new home side, and it's going to take some time before we see supply levels rise. And with the demand still staying strong, because in part we have a very strong job market. We are creating a lot of higher paid professional technical jobs, and that's supporting our housing market moving forward. So until we see some shifts in supply, we could continue to see some of that upward pressure on prices.
And in terms of, people moving between homes, you're talking a lot about the migration part. Do you think that there's also, movement happening within the Calgary area? People, are they reluctant to perhaps leave a lower rate mortgage and move into a different home at this point in time, in terms of, putting that on the market and contributing to the supply side of things, the limited supply?
Absolutely. We are seeing really a limited level of new listings come onto the market. It's contributing to the low level of supply that we're seeing. And that's been one of the struggles, especially in our detached market. We just have not seen that supply come on. The only area of the market where we're starting to see some sort of listing improvement has been in the apartment condo sector. And that's partly why we saw those record levels of sales last month, is just because there was actually some supply choice for condo apartments.
If Canada's economy happens to slow this year, I mean, that there is an expectation that it will slow somewhat, because that is, what the Bank of Canada is trying to do, in a sense, to get inflation under control. But if we see a downturn, if we see a recession, how do you think that could end up playing out?
It really depends on what segments of the market that it impacts. I mean, Calgary generally is an economy that, is typically driven by what happens in the energy sector. So while the inflationary pressures impact everyone. If the energy sector is still doing okay and we're seeing, some stability in that market, it can help offset that impact that higher inflation tends to have on the consumer side of the market. So I think that what we'll be looking for as we move forward is, what is the energy sector doing? What is the health of the energy sector? With it being such a large part of our economy, even if the national economy goes into recession, Alberta could actually avoid some of the more significant impact if our energy sector stays relatively strong.